Hey, what's going on, Black people? What's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today I want to talk to you guys about Juneteenth. There is a crazy story about a Juneteenth celebration that featured a flyer that had nothing but white people on it. They literally were celebrating Juneteenth in Greenville, South Carolina, and literally in the ad, I'm gonna put the ad up on the screen. It's really hilarious in my view. The ad literally has nothing but white people on it. And you guys, if you're watching, you can see it on here. If not, you may be listening on Spotify. If you want to listen on Spotify, just look for Boyce Watkins on Spotify. You can find it there. And so this company decided, for whatever reason, I don't understand what was going on here. Madam President actually told me about it. Madam President brought it up, and I just couldn't help but to talk about it because there's a lot being said here. You know, they literally ran this Juneteenth ad. And in this ad, they said, they basically somebody decided on the committee that there should be white people on the ad. So anyway, as you come in, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Also, the goal of this platform, the goal of this show is to make you wealthier, smarter, and happier. And so hang out with us and I will improve your life in a lot of ways. We also believe in the B1 philosophy. B1 means we are Black first. Black first means that we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means we educate our kids. Black first means that we build wealth in our families. So anyway, I want to say what's up to Regina Lee and Jermaine. Good to see you. Let me read the story to you. It's pretty interesting. So this apparently happened in Greenville, South Carolina, and there's a group that was hosting a Juneteenth celebration, and they put out a series of banners promoting their event. So this isn't just the only banner. There are other banners apparently. They said, but the organizers of this event, of this Juneteenth event, have apologized for putting out a banner that has nothing but white people on it. Greenville residents were shocked to see the banner hanging from a lamppost in their town, pitching the event as a celebration of freedom, unity, and love. Meanwhile, in Greenville, South Carolina, there are a lot of people who tweeted that this was inappropriate, that they were gentrifying Juneteenth. They actually accused them of gentrifying Juneteenth because, they gentrify anything good that we have in our community. Anything that works for us eventually gets taken by other people. And also, they even said, somebody said, is Captain Marvel coming to gentrify Juneteenth? Another person said. Another asked, who approved this? I know Greenville got Black folks there. One said the imagery was symptomatic of a wider problem. Quote, this is how Black history gets completely distorted, repackaged, and to be palatable for white Americans, and then it's erased. This is doing what the 100% doing harm. This is 100% buying into the idea that we can't be whole on our own, not even for one day. So anyway, what do you guys think? Give me a yes or no. Yes or no. Do you think that there's any excuse for this behavior? Do you think that there's any justification? I'm gonna show you one of the brothers who was heading the event. There's his image. I'll dig up his name, and I'm not here to make fun of him. I'm not here to attack him. Maybe there's something. Maybe there was some higher level reasoning behind it. I'm not going to assume that he's a dummy or anything. His name is Reuben Hayes. He's the executive director of Juneteenth GVL. And I think that what Reuben was trying to do, I'm going to just try to be devil's advocate here and support the brother because I don't want to beat up on him. But literally the brother, and I think the whole committee was Black. I think most of the people on the committee were Black. I think that his goal was to make it inclusive, right? His goal was, I think, to invite everybody and make it into an event that everybody could appreciate. Now, let's try to see if we can. Remember, I told you guys that one sign of intelligence is the ability to try to be able to see other points of view. So I'm going to ask y'all a question. Give me a yes or no. Do you think that white folks need to know about Juneteenth or just Black people? Like when Juneteenth comes around, do you think white people should also be aware of it? Do you think white people should also celebrate it? Or give me a yes if you think that they should, and give me a no if you think that it's just something that Black people should do. Give me a yes or no. What do you think? And again, I'm not justifying any point of view here. I want you to have your own opinion. That's what we do here, Gemini Air. We don't tell anybody what to think. We encourage you to think for yourself. So I'm not here to tell you what your opinion should be. What do you think? Do you think white folks should know about Juneteenth or shouldn't know about it? Do you think they should celebrate it or not celebrate it? You think no, like it's not their holiday, they should know anything? Okay. Well, what's interesting to me about Juneteenth is that Juneteenth is a federal holiday. A federal holiday is a day that everybody celebrates. Everybody is off work, and I'm gonna tell you what, I see a lot of Black people. How many of y'all ever seen Black folks running out celebrating things like St. Patrick's Day? Y'all ever seen Negroes like dressed in green, running around on St. Patrick's Day? How many black people have you seen on Instagram with St. Patty's flags on their Instagram profile on St. Patrick's Day? And I say this only because not because I understand it, not because I agree. I actually don't. I think that what they did was definitely misguided. I think that flyer was inappropriate, not because there were white people on it. I think it was inappropriate because there were no black people on it. Right. I think that if you're talking about unity, unity should not come in the form of integrationist white subservient behavior, right? Where you say we're only catering to white people, we're only going to put white people on this flyer. We want this to be a whites only event. At least that's the interpretation people are going to have. I do understand the idea of saying, unity can work. Now, me personally, honestly, I think integration was not helpful to black people. I think integration, unfortunately, set you back economically. In fact, if you look at most indicators of black people's well-being, from education to economics to family structure, nothing has improved since integration. So you did integrate into a burning house. Dr. King was right. I wish Dr. King had listened to himself or lived long enough to actually reverse course on the ship. But Dr. King was correct. You were integrated into a burning house, and now you look all around. You saw the graduation last week that got shot up. You hear music on the radio that's degrading you, that's genocidal music. You send your kids to school. Your kids are not being educated in public schools. So integration has not worked for black people. So let's just be clear about that. Also, gentrification and just sort of watering down the things that we do, that happens on a regular basis. Dr. Claude Anderson, in his book Powernomics, and I keep a copy handy because it's like a weapon. I keep this book around. His website is powernomics.com. Everybody should read this book. Dr. Anderson talks about that. He talks about how black holidays and black events and black issues get watered down. They get watered down because we always want to be inclusive. We always feel like we have to invite everybody. We always feel that white folks need to be at the party in order for the party to be legitimate. I don't think that they feel like you need to be at the party for it to be legitimate. I really don't. Think about it. Think about how many corporations there are that claim to believe in diversity, that don't believe anything about diversity. Think about how many corporations there are that have a whole statement about how diverse they want to be and how diversity adds value. And you literally walk in the room and there's not one black manager in the entire department. Look at how many organizations, how many universities talk about diversification. I'm a professor. I cut my teeth in academia. I spent many years teaching on college campuses: Syracuse University, Indiana University, the University of Kentucky, in Ohio State. Most of these campuses did not have any black professors, but they had very well written diversity statements claiming that they wanted to have a lot of black professors, but they didn't hire them very often. And when they hired them, they rarely promoted them, and when they promoted them, they didn't hardly give them any power. So ultimately, my point here is to say that you feel like you got to invite them to the party for the party to be legit, but they don't feel like they have to invite you to the party. And I think this is where I would like to talk to this brother. If I was talking to him, I'd say, I get it. I think that bringing people together is cool. I understand that's probably in your job description. I know that you probably work for the city or something. Maybe that's what you do. I get that. You understand also that bringing white folks along means you're going to make more money. Right? Money is an important part of the equation. My PhD is in money, so I get it. I understand the power of money. But at the same time, you have to understand the history of all this. You have to understand why people were triggered by this. You have to understand why people feel like, man, every time we get something good, white folks got to come in and just bombard it. We get a nice thing going on in the community. Everybody wants to grab. We get the Negro leagues going, and then everybody, they want to go recruit Jackie Robinson. Jackson State gets something good going with Deion Sanders. They're finally making money, filling up stadiums. University of Colorado comes along and buys Deion, literally buys him up like a slave, right? And then takes him away to Colorado, right? So really, in general, that is one of the frustrations I think black people have, and I think that's a legitimate frustration. It's a frustration that I have. Most of what you get that is uniquely yours, most laws that are passed that are uniquely designed to support you, they eventually get watered down for the sake of diversity and inclusion, and that becomes harmful to black people. Now, if you allow me 1 second, please hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, everybody! Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, subscribe. Also, you're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. I want to give a quick shout out to one of the sponsors of this podcast. Aisha Verzi is a financial planner. Aisha, her phone number is up here. It's 626-340-5746. And I know Aisha, she is a big supporter of the Black Business School, where we've trained over 10 million of our people how to invest in the stock market. We do not need other people in order for us to have our own educational institutions. The Black Business School has PhDs. We have lawyers. We have millionaires. We have billionaires that are connected to this school, CEOs, all this stuff. We can teach you everything you need to know. Aisha is from the Black Business School and a supporter as well. Her number is 626-340-5746. If you have a black-owned own business and you want me to shout you out, just go to drboycefinance.com and talk to Micah. Tell Micah that I sent you, and I'll shout your business out too. And anybody that supports Black businesses will go looking for you, and you'll make more money that way. So you help us, we'll help you. That's the deal. All right. So anyway, so to sort of close up on this topic, it looks like this group, and in case you just came in, we're talking about this weird scenario in Greenville, South Carolina, where they had a Juneteenth celebration. And the brother who ran the event, there he is right here. He decided, him and the committee decided that the flyers should include white people, or one of the flyers should have only white people on it. People were offended. I think that there was a lesson learned here. I'm glad that the people spoke up. One of the points I want to make on this that I think is really important for you to understand too, is that, history is, they use that term, his story, for history, his story. History, unfortunately, Black history becomes his story and not your story. There are so many scenarios where Black history gets distorted, where kids go to school and they're taught the wrong things. Their brains are being controlled by this system. And one of the things I would tell you is, I think it's extremely important for you to educate your own damn kids. I just really need you to understand this. I don't get it, honestly, why so many millions of Black people are completely convinced that you can't learn unless white people sanction it. I just don't get it. I don't understand why you, have your kids and, have your kids and you first thing you do is you send your kids to a school that is run by the people who spent all their time trying to oppress you. The schools are run by all the systems that were designed to steal your wealth. All the places, all the people that have been brainwashing you and trying to harm you are the individuals that you want educating your kids. Give me a yes if you understand what I'm saying. Give me a yes in the chat if you get what I'm saying here. And by the way, somebody's asking for Aisha's number. I'm going to put it back on the screen, 626-340-5746. Write it down quick. I'll leave it up there for a second. So here's the thing. Give me a yes if you think that Black people can educate our own kids. Am I the only person who believes that Black people can read just like white people can? Am I the only person who believes that Black people have access to books just like white people do? Am I the only person here who's inspired by the fact that you had former slaves who came out literally out of slavery, half of them illiterate, who literally only had access to one room and a couple of books, and educated our children better than public schools do? I mean, do y'all understand how severe this is? I mean, I want you to understand this. Chicago is a city that literally has, I want to say 55 public schools without one single child who can read, write, or do math at grade level. Do you hear what I'm saying? They do not, they literally, in these 55 schools in Chicago where they get billions in funding, they literally don't have one child who can read, write, or do math at grade level. Do you agree with me? I really want to call the Court of Intelligent Black People. I got my Vicky Dillard gavel. Vicky Dillard, that's my homegirl. So she gave me the idea to have a gavel, and I have my Vicky Dillard gavel here, and I want to give her credit for this idea. I need to ask intelligent Black people, do you think that maybe that represents a state of emergency? Or have you been convinced that that's business as usual? I mean, do you have any sort of alarm or concern or anything inside? Is there anything that's activated inside of you? Are you so dead that nothing inside of you sparks when you hear that there are 55 public schools in Chicago that do not have a single child who can read, write, or do math at grade level? Do you understand how devastating that is? Do you understand that they're releasing an army of future welfare recipients into your community, an army of future children that won't have any hope of a good life? They're literally releasing millions of children into your community who will marry your daughter, who are going to be trying to hook up with your son, who don't have the skill sets necessary to survive in this world. A bunch of them are going to end up in prison. They're going to get fed to prison. Then they're going to get fed to like fast food and minimum wage jobs, right? It's because everybody makes money off Black people. So what I need you to understand is this. I need you to understand, I believe this to the core of my soul. Y'all need to stop sitting around waiting for white people to educate you and give you your history. You need to stop that. Even if you get a good education from a group that is not your own, they're still gonna bias that education in favor of their values, not yours. They're going to remember their history, not yours. They're going to teach your children their ideas, not yours. So you can pick up a book, you can put your kids on the internet, have them watch videos, introduce them to scholars, introduce them to me. My PhD, I'm smarter than any teacher your students will ever have, your kids will ever have. I guarantee. I have more education than every teacher that your child will ever have. So introduce your children to people like me. Every Wednesday night, we read in the Black Business School. We have a free training that has hit hundreds of thousands of our people. We read Powernomics, and we've been reading this book word for word for about 2 years. We literally read Powernomics word for word. Before that, we read Black Labor, White Wealth word for word. Why did I do that? Well, because they're not teaching that stuff in school. They're not teaching that stuff in school. So ultimately, what I'm saying is we got to do this, but you got to grow some balls, black man. You got to grow some testicles, son. You can't walk around here constantly begging and sitting on one knee, hoping that somebody's going to come and save you. Black mothers, protect your children from the people that want to molest their minds. Protect your kids from the people that want to misguide them. Protect them from the systems that are designed to destroy and enslave them. But you got to have enough courage and enough consciousness to get up off the porch. And unfortunately, studies show that 80% of all people are designed to follow an authority's order, even if the authority is wrong. So literally 80%, I already know, even as I say this, that 80% of our people are not going to even listen to a single word that I have to say. So I'm honestly not talking to the other 80%. I'm talking to the 20% that are going to listen. The system's telling you everything you need to know. You got to get your kids away from scenarios where their dominant educational mechanism comes from people who are going to distort who they are. Give me a yes if you understand what I'm saying. Give me a yes if you get this, if it makes any sense to you. Okay, now if you want to join us on Wednesday night in the Black Business School, where we're going through Powernomics training, again, it's totally free to the community. Lots of people take advantage of it. They bring their families and stuff like that. You can actually go to, I'm going to put the URL in here. It's blackkeystogreatness.com. That's blackkeystogreatness.com. You can sign up for free every Wednesday night at 8:30. We're reading Powernomics. Right now, we're on page 234. I've read this book word for word. I'm going to also read the next book I'm going to read is another book by Dr. Claude Anderson, a history book called The Black History Reader. That's a great book that literally goes through all the stuff in history that they never taught you in school, all the stuff that our people need to know to understand our history. And of course, I also have my own book that's out. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. It is a bestseller on Amazon. I encourage you to go take a look, read the reviews, and see what everybody else is saying about the book. If you'd like the reviews, get a copy for yourself, get a copy for your kids, and this book will change everything you know about economics. It will change everything you know about money. It'll literally put your family on a trajectory that it rises above all the despair, devastation, sadness, and weakness that you're seeing around you. I don't believe black people have to be weak. I just don't. I don't believe black people have to be scared. I don't believe black people, I believe we should be deeply offended by all of the individuals and forces out here that are seeking to harm us. Even when I talk about rappers, I have a lot of rappers, friends that are rappers. Killer Mike just came out with a great album. He's my friend. David Banner is my friend. Ice Cube is my friend. I have other D1 is my friend. I have a lot of Immortal Technique is my friend. I have a lot of rappers that I know that I'm very cool with. But then at the same time, I am not a fan of this idea that we are okay with people working for these record labels that are owned and controlled by other people, where they're literally spreading messages that are designed to make sure your son is dead by the age of 25. They're spreading messages to make sure your daughter is infected with STDs by the age of 18. They are spreading messages that ensure that your kids stay broke, busted, and disgusted at an early age. They spread messages that ensure that your kids are addicted to drugs. And a drug addict can't fight for nothing. A drug addict don't know nothing about freedom. A drug addict don't know nothing about how to be powerful. A drug addict don't know nothing about how to be successful. So ultimately, black people, one of the things you're going to have to do, and this is going to be hard for some of you, some of us are going to have a hard time doing this, is you have to really think carefully about who your heroes are. You have certain people that you look up to who unfortunately make lots of money by going out and spreading messages that we know for a fact are destroying these kids and destroying the Black community, destroying Black families. If you don't confront these things, then you're going to have the same problem for the next 100 years. It's never going to go away. So you got to stop trying to make friends and start trying to create real power. You got to stop trying to fit in and learn how to stand up. You stop looking for people to accept you and understand the importance of protecting that which is yours. So circling back on this whole Juneteenth situation, I saw this as an honest mistake. I don't think these brothers were trying to be sellouts. I agree that it was wrong. It was a mistake for them to put white people on that banner. That was kind of crazy. At the same time, I understand why they did it, because there's a good chance, I wouldn't be surprised if they work for the city. They have to be inclusive. If you do anything for the city where somebody else is paying your bills, you got to support their agenda. You can't support your own. You can't have a Black agenda when somebody else is paying the bills. That's why your politicians don't work for you, because they're getting money from people who don't give a damn about you. So they're going to do what their bosses tell them to do. Also, white folks have money. So that desire to be inclusive is financially lucrative. When I created the Black Business School, I can't tell you how many people I had who told me, don't put the word Black in the name of your school, because you're selling yourself short. You should be open for everybody, because white people have money too. And I agree, they do have money. And I don't think white people are bad. I don't hate all white people. I don't live in that world. At the same time, I wanted something that was specifically for us. I wanted us to get used to the idea of getting royal treatment. I wanted us to just understand what it's like to be at the front of the bus, to drive the bus, and to own the bus, right? Why are you happy just getting on the bus and not having to sit at the back? No, I don't want to be just on the bus. I want to drive the bus. I want to own the bus. I want to design and build the bus. That's my bus. And I believe that we can own the bus. Okay, so if you don't believe that, then maybe I'm not for you. Maybe you're not going to understand what we're saying here. But if you are in that category, my job is to encourage you. I'm not very good at preaching to the heathens, but I'm extremely good at preaching to the choir. So God bless you. Thank you all so much for listening. I want to remind everybody, the All Black National Convention is the preeminent gathering of B1 people from around the world. We're going to be in Atlanta, October 20th. The All Black National Convention, we cover everything from crypto and stock market investing all the way to relationships and politics. We gather the leading experts in the Black community, the leading therapists, leading doctors, lawyers, CEOs, entrepreneurs, billionaires, millionaires, all kinds of people. We don't care about celebrities that much, even though we do have celebrities that come. Kanye West called me last year and wanted to come. It didn't work out. But we bring together Black folks that really care about the community and want us to lead. And this year, I'm really happy that Victory Boyd actually wrote a bunch of songs on Kanye West's album. She got signed to Rock Nation. She's going to be one of our performers this year, her and her whole family. And I'm inviting their family because their family has a model, a business model that can work for anybody's family. And I love seeing a family business. They're kind of like the new Jackson 5, Victory. In fact, she's such a good singer. She sang for Jay-Z, and Jay-Z signed her on the spot. But she has two sisters that sing as well as she does. So you talk about talent, it's through the roof, off the chain. All right, guys. So anyway, if you'd like to learn more about the convention, please visit allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. You can get a pass. You can become a vendor. You can sponsor something and get your business promoted, whatever it is you want to do. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all very, very soon. Take care now. Stay Black. Have a great weekend. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.